very much for having us. The first but I'm very gentlemen of the press. This IGP's conference with strategic senior officers. Senior officers drawn from departments within the force headquarters. We indeed welcome everyone to the business of the day. And from the program here,
this is not a ceremonial gathering, and it is we sit at the helm of a force whose relevance is constantly tested, whose every action is scrutinized, and whose leadership institutional culture we shape, the force, and the confidence we restore in the uniform we wear. Since our last conference, we have witnessed encouraging signs of progress. Operational and behavioral changes like issue treatment were not ignored. I have seen reflected in improved command, more coherent tactical responses, and presence at critical flashpoints. Yet, it must be said that falling short and their lists remain too visible to ignore. This must change immediately if we are to move as one force. However, no one rises by merely doing what is expected. The pursuit of excellence is one-off achievement. It's a continuous process. While we acknowledge the steps taken, we must also admit that we are still some distance from the ideal. There is work to be done, and there is no better forum than this one to determine how. Let us ground ourselves in the reality we face. Policing in Nigeria is undergoing a period of intense complexity. Threats are no longer localized or predictable. We are confronting hybrid criminal actors who blend physical violence with cyber with transnational reach and petty moves with ideological ones. Armed banditry, institutional violence, financial fraud, gender-based crimes, and political electoral violence. All this compete for our attention, sometimes simultaneously and in overlapping theaters. We cannot respond with outdated strategies or reactive postures. Our mindset must evolve Our coordination must be seamless. Our leadership must be visible and deliberate, not just within our commands, but across the national architecture of law enforcement. In the face of these complexities, the Nigerian Police Force has continued to rise with determination and agility. Across various commands, we have recorded results that reflect not just tactical competence, but the early fruits of recalibrated leadership. The past 2 months have yielded high-impact interventions, coordinated rescues, weapons recoveries, and targeted arrests. Outcomes that show our resolve to dominate criminal spaces and reclaim public confidence. But beyond the numbers lies a more important truth. Where leadership is intentional, results follow. While specific case victories speak volumes, it is also crucial to take stock of our national operational footprint. Between 31st July and today, we arrested a total of 4,383 suspects across the country for various offenses. This included 481 armed robbery suspects, 260 kidnappers, 371 for murder or culpable homicide, and 161 for unlawful possession of firearms. We also arrested 322 suspected rapists, 375 cultists, and 210 crimes. In December, 716 assaulted firearms, 21,238 rounds of ammunition, and 212 vehicles. Furthermore, 1,138 kidnapped victims were rescued. Each of these figures represents more than enforcement metrics. They reflect lives saved, families reunited, and communities restored to peace. Behind every number is an officer who faced danger, took a calculated risk, and displayed courage beyond measure. These accomplishments are testament to your skill, training, and unwavering commitment to the people of Nigeria. To illustrate the nature of our work, allow me to highlight a few regions of participation. 2025, operating in Delta State in synergy with local security groups, in and a crate of weapons and stolen electronics were recovered. Again, on 16th September, the Saber Highway Patrol Team in Edo State intercepted a suspect en route Benin with fabricated pistols, ammunition, and a stolen Lexus RX 330. That same month, 16 kidnapped victims were rescued in Odemikwe and Obarere to a highway ambush. In each of these cases, success was not accidental. It was the initiative, preparation, and tactical confidence. Across Imo and Anambra states, IPOC/ECNN strongholds were leading to the recovery of assault weapons, explosives. In the southwest, multiple kidnap syndicates were neutralized, particularly in Oyo and Ondo states. Arrested, ransom money recovered, and victims rescued. In particular, in Abeokuta, successfully foiled a kidnap attempt and secured 5 hostages without loss of life. These are not isolated wins. They are part of a growing pattern of coordinated response, interagency synergy, and real-time community intelligence. During the August by-elections in Kano, 333 suspects were apprehended for offenses including conspiracy, intimidation, and snatching of electoral materials. Exhibits recovered included firearms, machetes, and over 4 million naira in cash. In Zamfara, the arrest of 13 bandit collaborators and rescue of 19 kidnapped victims on 12 September further reinforced our expanding operational footprint in high-risk corridors. What these operations reveal is that when commands are aligned, supported and purpose-driven, the results are swift and decisive. However, operational success must never be the end of the story. Far too many commands delay or underreport major breakthroughs, weakening the ability of the force to build national narratives of success and shape public confidence. Every recovered weapon, every rescued victim, every disrupted shot, verified and communicated. This public trust in the field is how we engage and how we show evidence of progress. Senior officers, it is your duty to ensure that your victories will not die in silence. One area that continues to cast a shadow over our institution is the misuse of police authority in civil disputes, particularly in matters related to land. Let me reiterate without ambiguity. The Nigerian police force is not and will never become an enforcer for private interests. Officers have no business escorting parties for land recovery, legally exiting occupations, or meddling in civil claims without a demonstrable criminal element. Every such incident erodes the neutrality of the force and opens us up to disrepute. The line must be clear, and any officer who crosses it will face disciplinary consequences. The credibility of this institution rests not only on our fighting capacity, but also on the ethical culture we enforce from the top. Leadership by title is easy, but leadership by example is the standard we must uphold. I do not expect perfection, but I insist on responsibility. Commissioners of police and assistant inspectors general must not become distant administrators. You must be present, engaged, and firm in correcting excesses. Where there are complaints of abuse, respond. Where there are cases of misconduct, act. What you tolerate becomes your culture, and what you ignore eventually defines your legacy. As we approach the final quarter of the year, there is no room for complacency. The so-called Ember months have historically seen spikes in robbery, kidnapping, ritual killings, and highway banditry. I am mandating the following. Zonal AIGs must activate multi-layered feasibility reports. CPs must monitor and respond to threats beyond urban centers. Tactical teams should patrol not just highways, but feeder corridors. Community engagement not just in volume, but in sincerity. Let every command return from this conference with an operational calendar for October and December. To review these frameworks personally. Senior officers, the force looks up to you, not just for supervision, but for example. Your tone becomes the culture of your commands. If you cut corners, so will your officers. If you uphold ethics, so will they. If you dismiss misconduct, impunity will multiply. The quality of your decisions sets the tone for our institution, influences the morale of your subordinates, and shapes how citizens perceive the entire police force. Capacity building at this level is no longer optional. It is a duty. Let this not be one more meeting we forget after the applause phase. Take every insight gained here as a mandate. Let your next action prove that you understand. Let your next action reaffirm the public. Let your next report reflect vision, not just compliance. We owe our officers in the field clarity. We owe our citizens' protection, guide our judgment, strengthen our steps, and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Can I have a seat? Thank you very much, sir. That was the opening remarks of IGP carried out here. We are going to hold very much. Next, we'll be going to the IGP's interaction with members of the press. So for members of the press, if you have one or two questions you would like to ask the IGP, the time is now. Do we have any question? It appears everything the IGP said is clear. Do we have any? Okay, CBC, Sifon, SN. Who else has a question? Okay, Kenya Adewale, Kids Reporters, Francis, NTA. So just those three. The mic will be brought to you. Okay, GTV. Please.
Good afternoon, IG and senior officers. My name is Sifon SN. I work with CBC. Going by your mandate to distinguish senior officers to come up with strategy for the next 3 months, we've seen a disturbing trend whereby known or repeated bandits, for an alleged peace deal, but thereafter we still see attacks on communities close to their areas where they've been operating. I'd like to know, sir, what would be your reaction to this? Thank you, sir.
IGP, sir, I'm Adewale Kende, Swift Reporters. There are some recent events, what looks like a coordinated event. We've seen some police personnel being attacked. What is the First Secretary doing to curb this as we approach 2026, which is almost like an election campaign year?
IGP, sir, my name is Bemida Olamiko. I have observations that recently police decided not to parade suspects. But in Yoruba culture, it is said that when you shame others from such, I will not commit such activities. What some are saying that court matters, sir, can police seek to redress of such so that we can see criminals.
First year, I just want to raise your hand there.
He said his question has been asked.
Okay. Thank you for your questions. Question 1 from Informed TDC. You talked about reported bandits coming out for peace deals, and you want to know what my reaction is to that. Criminals who want to embrace peace, we won't shut the doors to them. If they want to surrender, they are welcome. But that does not mean that we are going to relax on our onslaught on them. Some two from the Swift Reporter. You want to know what we are doing about attacks on our men. Of course, severally, I have sounded a warning to the public against attacking police officers on lawful duties. Attacks on our men, we don't accept attack on police officers carrying out their lawful duties. Severally, I have appealed to the public that if they feel that they do not agree with the conduct of a police officer, they should please report that police officer to the authorities. Every state has a command commissioners of police. Every division has a DPO. Every area has area commander. We also have the complaint response units in all the states of the federation, and their phone numbers have been displayed several times in the media. If you don't agree with the conduct of any police officer, don't attack that policeman. Report his conduct to his superiors. And I can assure you that such reports will not be dismissed. All necessary actions will be taken. We have also announced disciplinary measures we have taken against every police officers to encourage members of the public to report misconduct of policemen to us. We don't take kindly and we don't dismiss reports of misconduct of our officers. We discipline them. Then question 3 from Gwenga. You want us to continue to parade suspects because you believe that, of course, it is true that when you shame an offender, others learn not to commit that same offense. It serves as deterrence to others who may wish to commit that same offense. I agree with you, but our law does not permit us to parade suspects, criminal suspects. We don't parade anymore because we are law enforcers. We cannot be seen to be breaking the laws that we are supposed to enforce. Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end